Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cass and I'm so happy that you clicked on this video. I appreciate you so much. If you're new here, remember to subscribe so that you can be part of our little coven, and let's just get into it. So first of all, this is the mug of the day. I am kind of obsessed with this mug lately. Had it for a couple of years. I think I got it at TJ Maxx or like Home Goods, one of those stores. But it's like this speckled black stoneware with the like glazed ghosts on it. And then the inside is orange. It's pretty full of coffee right now. And then right on the rim, I'll show you when I get down a little further, but it says boo right there. So when you're drinking, you can see that it says boo. Anyhow, this is my morning coffee. And today we are going to be getting ready for my WITCHtember tag video. So I'm doing some prep work. I also plan on doing an ASMR video. And so I wanted to put on some nails just for the aesthetic of my like witchy recommendations, witch tag video, as well as I'm going to have a witchy themed ASMR video. That's on my other channel. I'll have it listed down below if you like bookish ASMR. Anyhow, I apologize that my voice is still croaky. I'm still getting over being sick. Yes, it's been like almost a month. Like it's been 3 weeks and I'm so over it, but I'm not over it. So anyway, so I thought that what we would do today is just a little catch up. I wanted to follow up on the book that I talked to you guys about yesterday, and that was The Witch's Tree by Elena. I did end up really loving that book. I gave it 5 stars. It does have wayward vibes, but it was a little bit different. One thing that I really enjoyed about this book is in Wayward, I love Wayward, okay? It's like in my top 10 favorite books of all time. And now probably The Witch's Tree is in there as well. But the Wayward, and I heard this complaint from other people, was like very like girl power, very almost like toxic femininity, toxic feminist type of vibe, meaning that it was very like pro-women, anti-men. Granted, the men in the book are not great men. So it's not so much that I don't think the author or like the book was intended to be anti-men. It was meant to be anti-toxic men who oppress women and abuse women and, cause problems. Nonetheless, that is all that we saw in that book. All we saw were toxic men. If there were men in the book, they were toxic. This book, however, The Witch's Tree, I liked because it had good men in there. And so I felt like within the story, both in the past and in the present, we were seeing a comparison of good men and bad men. By bad, I mean toxic, bad, ill-intended, I don't know. Let's just call them bad. It's bad, okay? Bad men. So I really liked that comparison because a lot of times we rely a lot on pop culture to build the framework from which we are like absorbing the world around us. For instance, a lot of us who grew up on Disney might have like a Disney love story framework about what love should look like. But that's like fantasy. That's not reality, right? So, and the other thing is that if you grow up in a dysfunctional home around toxic men, so like a lot of my experience in my lifetime has been toxic men, just been not healthy for me. By toxic, it doesn't even have to mean necessarily that they're bad, but just like also not healthy, like not a good representation of men. I knew they weren't good, but I also didn't really know what good looked like. I didn't know what was realistic to expect, like what a good man would look like. And I feel like this book shows that. I feel like it makes it very clear, like, so if you come from a background of you haven't really experienced dysfunctional men, toxic men personally in your life, then first of all, you're so blessed. But it gives you insight into what other women have gone through with their experience with men. And if your experience, like mine, has been mostly negative and you got to adulthood or you're at a point in your life where you're just like, all men are toxic. Like, I don't even know good men. Do good men even exist? Like, what is a good man? By the way, I know good men exist and my partner is a good man. So I have learned, I know there are lots of good men out there, okay? I'm not dissing on men. But I would have loved to have these kinds of examples in my culture consumption growing up. I wish I would have seen more realistic portrayals of good men and also calling out the bad behavior and like letting you know like that's not okay and that's not normal and it's not good. and more examples in literature. I feel like we've gotten so much better as a society in general because of social media, because of technology and independent publishing and independent film producing and all of the resources that we have. I feel like it's given more people a voice. And the more people that have a voice, the more perspectives we get, right? I didn't mean for this to be like a TED Talk, you guys. Anyhow, so all I'm trying to say is that the thing that I really loved about this book that I feel like really set it apart is that it showed good men and bad men. And having that contrast right there on the page, like right there in the book, it was refreshing. It made sense. It gave you a sense of hope and justice for these women that didn't come in the form of like revenge, if that makes sense. Anyhow, just go read it. It is available on Kindle Unlimited right now, but you can also order it on Amazon and you can also order it on Blackwell's. I'll link it down below. So if you want to use my link, it does help me out, but it doesn't affect your price at all. I just appreciate it. Helps me keep my channel going. Anyways, I finished that book. Then I started and finished Anathema. So I read Anathema in I listened to it in 24 hours. I just finished it. Right before I started this video, I finished Anathema. And my mind is still kind of reeling from it. First of all, I didn't know that it was a series. So I thought it was a standalone. And then I got to the end and no, it is just book number 1. So now I ended on a cliffhanger and I have to wait until the next book comes out, which I have no idea when that is. What I'll say about Anathema is it's definitely very witchy. It's definitely dark gothic vibes. There is definitely an element of horror in it. You may know that I am not the biggest fan of horror. For some reason, I like it in films, but I don't like it in my books. It usually just, I don't know what it is. There's just so much I think that I'm so horrified by other things that are actually going on in the world that I don't want that in my literature. I don't know, you guys. But anyways, it had this horror element. Now, I'm invested, so I will pick up book number 2. But had I known how much, dark, horror, shocking, outright gross elements that were in the book, I may not have picked it up to begin with. Of course, you could probably skip through them, but I was just caught me off guard. I loved the characters. I loved the story. The magic system seems really complex. I'm still not totally clear on it. Overall, the book wasn't super easy to follow, and so I docked stars for that because I spent so much time trying to be wait, what is happening? What is going on? What does this mean? Or what did they say? Or wait, well, what did they say before? There was enough mud in the water that it was distracting for me. But otherwise, it's great. I think I'm gonna land on 4 stars with it. I still think, that is a great rating. That's a great book. It's a solid, witchy, spooky, Halloween season read. Okay? Now, I am going to figure out what I'm gonna read next. I'm gonna put on an audiobook. I'm going to put these nails on. They're just these Kiss, press-on nails that I actually got them at the Family Dollar. I was in there for something else and saw them and they were on clearance for $3. Anyways, I don't know how long they're gonna last. I don't love press-on nails. I get really weird sensory from it, but I like these because they are a good length. They won't bother me nearly as much, especially since I type for my job. And if they come off in even 24 hours from now, that's fine. I just wanted them on while I do my filming today. So I'm gonna look through, figure out what book I'm going to read next, put on my nails, and then I'll give you guys an update. I went through all of my library holds and loans and what's due back soon and all of that. I also have a bunch of books that I've been wanting to read that are sitting in my Audible account, my Libro FM account, and my Book of the Month account. So I kind of took a look at all of those to see. And I think that I am going to go ahead and start Broken Country by Clare Leslie Hall. I don't think this is a witchy book, but this totally gives off fall vibes. And I've heard nothing but amazing things. 2 of my best friends who we have very similar tastes in books, both said it's the best book they've read this entire year. And we're talking we all read more than 100 books a year. Okay, so that's saying a lot. So I've been dying to read it. Okay, so the description is, it looks like maybe it's a little bit of a thriller or a mystery. So very much fall vibes. Yeah, it says it's a thriller. Okay, it says a sweeping love story with the pace and twists of a thriller Broken Country is a novel of simmering passion, impossible choices, and explosive consequences that toggles between the past and present to explore the far-reaching legacy of first love. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to start this book, and you guys will get to hear about it as we go along. Yeah, I'm going to get these nails put on, and then probably I will be filming my witchy tag, and then trying to get some of these videos out for you guys. Okay, let's do this. This was my book of the month pick, I think either last month or the month before. I love that book of the month started offering audiobooks because, as you know, that's primarily what I use right now in this season of working mom life. And I love book of the month. I have a ton of book of the month books. I think it's an amazing company, an amazing deal. I love what they do. I just don't have time to sit and read that many books. Right now, I am relying on audiobooks to get me through. So if I couldn't get the audiobook from the library, or I didn't want to buy it because I already had the book, then it's taking me longer to get through those books. So when they started offering audiobooks, I was so excited. I love it. So that's like one of the best moves they've made. Anyhow, that was my pick. So I'm downloading it here on my Book of the Month app, and I will be listening to it here. And I'll keep you guys updated. All right. Go, Clare. Nails are done, and I've been listening to the book. I'm on chapter 5, so I have it going at 1.5 speed, so it's a little bit faster. So far, I mean, it is like I'm already immersed. It hooks you right from the get-go. I'm like, this is something to study if you want to write a book. Like, she just effortlessly, just like I was in the story, and felt like I was there. So there's already drama, there's already a mystery that we want to solve, there's already like intrigue and relational tension. So I think this is going to be good. I mean, I know this is going to be good, okay? When everyone I know has rated it 5 stars, it's going to be good. Anyways, I am going to get started on my other video and post this for you guys. And yeah, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe so that you can see my witchy tag video that should be coming out tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. Love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.